Hey everyone, Crystal Grace here. Welcome back to another pick a card reading, or in this instance, it is pick a crystal. So this one is all about what have people realized about you that you are not aware of. So we have 3 piles to choose from. We have pile number 1, we have the blue cryonite. We have pile number 2, the selenite palm stone. And pile number 3, we have, look, I'm up in arms in regards to the actual name of this. From memory, actually, I can't remember. I couldn't be bothered restarting. The reading, open camera. Let's see. Dyed blue turquoise. So it could be, yeah, I was thinking turquoise. It could be blue howlite, but it's looking more like the turquoise, dyed blue. There is a bit of like, I don't know, howlite kind of vibe going on here as well. So, or you could just call them boating balls. Cool. So pile 1, blue kyanite, pile 2, the palmstone selenite, and pile number 3, let's go with blue dyed turquoise. So take a moment to connect with one of these piles and we will find out what people have recently realized about you that you are not aware of. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So those of you who chose the blue kyanite. So some fun facts about this crystal is that its hardness changes depending on the direction being tested. So what I feel in regards to that piece of information, hardness changes depending on the direction being tested. I feel like to help you guys know or give you confidence whether or not you've picked the right pile, you guys, when tests are thrown your way, whether it's in the form of like dealing with narcissists, like fuck boys, fuck girls, manipulators, that sort of energy, like when a test is being presented to you by the universe, I don't feel like you have a very hard exterior. And what I feel in regards to this fun fact with this crystal is like you don't handle your tests all the same way. You change the direction or the approach or the way you handle tests or dilemmas or drama or tower moments, all completely different. You don't use the same method to combat trials and tribulations. Like for each situation is sort of the vibe I'm picking up here. This stone also is commonly found in Brazil, so some of you could have a strong affiliation here with Brazil. Or it is also found in the United States and obviously across the globe, but that may be an indicator this is the right pile for you. It is remarkably hard, this crystal. Like it's a very hard hard stone is what I'm going to say. So you guys have a hardness to your energy at this time. Maybe it's because you have a lot of trials and tribulations you are going through. This cat thinks she's going to sleep here. All right, let's move this over here. So we have the number 8, we have 83, so some of you could have been born in 83. We have an M, we have an A, and we have a mermaid. And we have a cat doing a leggy. We have a charm here. We also have an owl. Some of you could be in your 30s. We have 12th house is Pisces, 12th house again. Wow, I've got a bit of a list this morning. I'm battling a sinus infection now after having all the sicknesses over the last 10 days. It's been crazy. So Pisces, Cancerian energy. We also have Taurus. We have strong Taurus energy here. Let's sort this cat out. You good? And then we do have Pluto, which is Scorpio energy. We have rolled it over to Jupiter. Jupiter is Sag and Pisces again. All right, so cat, what are we going to do with you? What have people realized about pile number 1 that they are not aware of? There's an energy shift, I feel, for a lot of you. And maybe it's this hardness. Maybe like people, what they've realized that you're not aware of, that maybe it is that unique message with the Cryonite here. Like maybe people, what they've realized about you, pile number 1, is that you don't handle situations the same anymore. Or maybe you are like reacting and responding to people's bullshit in a very different way now. There is this more like putting up with no BS or something like that. But see, with this crystal, it's going all different ways, you know. It's not straight. It's not like, if we think back to like this selenite is so smooth and flat and straight and, you know, neat and tidy. I feel like what people are realizing about you now is you're not taking like, maybe you're not being diplomatic in the way you're dealing with things anymore. Like and as we say this, like there is this sort of like, people are realizing about you is like you're not afraid to get a little crazy. Like when it's sort of like you're fed up, and if people are going to come at you and try and disturb the peace or try and like ruin your day, you're not afraid now. What they're realizing about you that you may not be aware of is that you are not afraid to take things maybe too far for some of you, or take things to a level where there is no return of like reconciliation. There is this seriousness of energy I'm feeling, like this don't fuck with me or I will like ruin you kind of energy here. And the thing about doing collective readings, guys, is you never know what you are going to connect with the audience. Here we have. So, fuck boy, fuck girl. We have 7 of Swords. We have Knight of Pentacles. We have the Justice. We have the 9 of Pentacles. And the Hierophant. So what have people realized about you? Mine, oh, cat. I might just call out a couple more sign placements here. So Knight of Wands is Cancerian, again, energy, but also Leo. Your 7 of Swords is connected with Aquarius. Your Knight of Pentacles, I think it's Taurus and Aries. Obviously, Justice is linked with Libra, but also Libra and Venus. So Taurus energy as well there. Hierophant is Aries and Mars, so Scorpio energy as well. And then United of Pentacles is Virgo, but Venus in Virgo. So Libra and Taurus again. My apologies for my sinus sounds. So your overall energy. Look, the biggest thing I'm connecting with the Knight of Wands here, what people have realized about you that you're not aware of. I feel like for a lot of you, you may not even be aware of this pile number one, but you are in a very non-committal energy right now is what I feel. And what a lot of people are realizing about you that you're not aware of is that you're not easily controlled now. You can't be easily manipulated. You have a difficulty to commit to maybe people, places, careers here. I feel like people, what they're realizing about you is you're tapping into a very high energetic, like free spirited sort of vibe at the moment where you can't be touched. And when I think back to that Queen of Pentacles, like the energy of the person on that card is very much like protecting her energy and not afraid to react or respond in a way that's going to ensure that energy remains protected, remains the same. So I kind of feel like what people have realized about you is that you are unpredictable at this time. You are very impulsive. They don't know your next move. They can't pick it. And naturally with narcissists and manipulators, they can't work on those sorts of grounds. They need to be able to predict their prey because they always are like 10 steps ahead, right? So I feel like for a lot of you, what people are realizing about you right now is because you are very impulsive, you've tapped into some kind of courageous, free spirit, you're very protective of your own energy, they can't come at you right now. So it's funny that I'm saying right now, which means they could be plotting in a way to try and come at you in some way, shape or form. And I hope, like I really hope that this pile does not resonate with anyone, because this sounds like there is a lot of toxic energy here. A lot of you are facing at this time. Like when we have to tap into a hard exterior to ensure our safe space, it remains safe, that means we are being faced or tested with very harsh lessons or harsh people, harsh energies. And it's not healthy. Like it's not healthy for the soul. It's not healthy for the mind. Not healthy for our like entire being, really. You know, like Knight of Wands can also talk about somebody starting arguments, right? You know, somebody being quite reckless and hasty and like arrogant here. So I kind of feel like what people are realizing about you is that you're not afraid to start an argument anymore, especially with people who try and create instability in your energy, in your life, people who try and create or push you into things that you don't want to do, like create an urgency for you to hurry up and do what they want you to do. They're realizing about your pile one that they can't maneuver you or make you do things that you don't want to do anymore. Is sort of the vibe I'm picking up. Like you're becoming like the hero of your own life. You're becoming very rebellious. Like the Knight of Wands is a very rebellious energy. Now for others of you, like it could be the fact that with the whole non-committal is like what people are realizing about you is you're not looking for a relationship here. You are more than happy to be out playing the field here, having a lot of adventures in love. Sorry, this cat is ruining the... What are you doing? People can't see anything when you sit there like that. Can you... You're just so pretty. Lift you up to the sky. You little puppy. Aren't she? So the Seven of Swords here is a very interesting energy, you know, as to what people are, you're hiding things, you know, like the Seven of Swords is somebody, like what people could be realizing about you is maybe you are now hiding things. Maybe you are now being more strategic in your plans, in your endeavors, what you're doing behind closed doors. You're not sharing everything you used to share with people is what I feel with the Seven of Swords, what people are realizing about you. You're no longer an open book. You're very closed off to the people around you, maybe to the people that have hurt you. Maybe the fact that you are seeing people for who they really are now. So maybe what people are realizing about you is that I don't know, I'm looking over at a pile, like another tarot deck, and I see the Magician. Like, I definitely feel like people, what they're realizing heavily about you, they can't manipulate you to do the things that they want you to do now, is definitely what I'm picking up, that Seven of Swords. Like, they can't be deceiving, they can't tell you lies, they can't trick you, they can't sort of scheme against you right now because you're heavily protected here. There is this sneakiness to you though. So like these people, what they're realizing about you is you are now, it's like the shoe is on the other foot. I feel like what they're realizing about you is you are now playing them at their own game in a way. Let me know down in the comments what the fuck is going on here, because it's very, I don't think I've ever tapped in this energy before. So it could be just new audience. I'm going to pause the video and cough because I think it's gross when you hear people coughing on tarot channels. No offense if you do that, but I personally don't like it. So Knight of Wands we've talked. Yeah. Even like Catch Me If You Can, you know, what people are realizing about you now that you haven't realized is maybe some of you are still stuck in a very low vibrational headspace and you actually don't realize that you shutting off everyone is having this impact or is having them realize this about you. But yeah, to have two knights here, I'd say a lot of you are like, yeah, sort of 20s, 30s here. You might be quite a young age group of the audience, and if you're not, then you're obviously just sort of like a young-hearted individual. But you're neglecting relationships is what people are realizing about you with this Knight of Pentacles. Because the Knight of Pentacles, there is such a slow-moving energy, and their behavior in connections and any kind of relationship can come across as neglectful because they're very focused on themselves. So what people are realizing about you now that you're not aware of is that you're neglecting them. So you may have a lot of people who have used you to boost their ego, to boost up their life, like to always, you may only hear from people when they've got problems, right? But whenever you have a problem, they're never around. So I feel like these people are realizing that you've become very bored in your relationships, in your friendship circle, maybe your romantic connections, and therefore what they're realizing about you or how they perceive you right now is that you've become very disloyal. You're not as loyal as you used to be. You have created an instability in your connections with them is what they're realizing. You're pulling yourself away. You aren't responding to messages as quickly as you used to. You're not running after everyone else. You are very MIA at the moment is what I feel with the Knight of Pentacles here. Like you aren't as reliable as you used to be. You may be throwing yourself more into work. So they could be sort of what they're realizing about you is you are neglecting your relationships because you're focusing on work here is sort of the vibe I'm picking up with the Knight of Pentacles. So justice, you know, this is all about karma, you know, it's in how do you explain it? Like karmic injustices are people could be realizing what you don't realize, and sometimes we never understand or no, understand is probably the wrong word. Sometimes we're never aware of when people receive their karma for doing us wrong. But I feel like this justice card for a lot of you, pile one, is to give you 100,000% confirmation that those who are doing these horrible things or creating a horrible environment for you, what they're realizing is that they are receiving their karma for the injustices that they have put upon you. So their dishonest behavior, the corruption that they tried to infiltrate, into your life, they are receiving the consequences of their actions at this point in time. So somebody hopefully feels more in their power to learn that people are receiving, these people, that have come up in your reading, are 100% receiving their karma, the lies that they have, inflicted upon you, for the arguments that they have created, especially even in the workplace. If you've faced a lot of injustices or unfairness in the workplace and you've received a lot of ill treatment from bosses, from colleagues, these individuals, what they've realized about you, everything they did to you, they're receiving from someone else. So they're learning a life lesson at this point in time. So what they're realizing about you is that you are their life lesson, you are their karmic lesson, is what I feel. Another thing with the Justice card here, what they're realizing about you is this is very magician-y kind of energy. So you have some kind of spiritual power here, and I've never really connected the Justice card with magic and spirituality, but there is something very spiritual about the imagery on this card. The scales are levitating, as is the sword. So I definitely feel like for a lot of you, what people are realizing about you is you are very spiritually protected, I would have to say. Strange things happen when people do the wrong thing to you is sort of the vibe I'm picking up here. So the Hierophant tells me what people are realizing about you. There is this rebellious energy to the Hierophant. So I feel like it's just reiterating that energy of the Knight of Wands. But I feel like the Hierophant in the reverse meaning can talk about somebody not conforming, okay? Challenging traditions. So what I feel like with the Hierophant here, it's reiterating the fact that what people are realizing about you is you will not conform to their bullshit anymore. You will not conform to the old ways of self, and you are now tapping into new methods, because that is what the Hierophant is all about. On the flip side, it's somebody who is veering away from the traditional path, institutions that have made them to step in line and be like this, and you will get married, and you will have a white picket fence. Again, that is totally opposite to what the Knight of Wands people would want. They don't want a white picket fence. They don't want to shackles on their ankle. They want freedom. So I feel like what a lot of people are realizing about you is you are fighting for freedom right now. If it doesn't bring you freedom, you don't want a bar of it, is sort of the vibe I'm picking up with this Hierophant. And you're this is very much back the fuck off, or I'll beat you with my cross. So there is this aggressive energy as well here, I feel. And aggression, there's nothing wrong with aggression if it's depending on how it's utilized and how in context. If aggression's going to help protect your space and your energy and keep fuckwits away from you, then you do what you need to do, 100%. Obviously not physically, but words are far more useful in keeping yourself protected from people's energy than physical actions, is my experience. I've never had to be physical with anyone. Words will last a lifetime in somebody's mind. And whereas if you're physical with somebody, they can get over that, and then you look like the bad person, but you can destroy somebody with words, and that is far more fun way to push people away from you who do not serve your highest good. You know, there's a lot of people out there who abuse people, and a lot of people don't even realize they're being abused by these people. You know, and these people are like family members, they're friends, and like, you know, it's not until you're out of somebody's energy who's been trying to control you and manipulate you that you've realized, oh my God, these people are fucking toxic. And you don't actually realize it. And maybe some of you are going through that at this point in time. But I love the Nine of Pentacles, right? Because to finish off your reading here, Pile 1, the thing about the Nine of Pentacles coming out for me, what these people realize is that, and that you don't realize, the further you get away from these people, the more abundant your life is becoming. And these people can see this. So for some of you, these could be really close friends that you think are loyal to you, but you actually don't know how disloyal they are behind your back. And I feel like if a lot of you are focusing on a new career here, or like something that's bringing you more joy, you're not maybe sharing everything you used to share. And you could be just doing that because you are so focused on work. You may not intentionally be doing it. What these people are realizing is that your life has become a lot more stable and secure since you've removed yourself from their energy, or as you slowly neglect those relationships, those friendships. The more you focus on your material security here, you are being more rewarded, and they're seeing that. They're seeing the universe rewarding you with maybe new, healthier friendships, new loving relationships. There is this like strong independent energy about you because you are so fixated or focused on your freedom, and they can see that is having a very successful impact on your life. They're seeing a lot of prosperity surrounding you now. You know, the fruit of your labor is also being seen by these people. So what they're realizing about you that you are not is the more that you're drifting away from them, the better your life is becoming. And that can be quite confronting for people who are narcissists and manipulators. So yeah, that is all I have for you guys. Let me know if you enjoyed that. Definitely let me know if it found the viewer, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So those of you who chose the beautiful selenite palm stone that I got from the Crystal Castle, it's so pretty. So some fun facts about this crystal to help us, or help you connect with this pile. So it's one that is a very powerful healing crystal. And the message that I'm getting for you guys, and something that other people around you are realizing about you that you may not realize, is that a lot of people around you, Pile 2, receive a lot of healing without you knowing. And I think your energy is so healing and very powerful at doing that, that it promotes a very like, I don't know if promote is the right word, or it releases a lot of peaceful and calming energy around those who come into your energy field. I feel like a lot of people are able to obtain a lot of mental clarity about life, about their problems, about what they want to do tomorrow or today, just by spending time with you, by connecting with you. And I definitely feel like other things that what people are realizing about you that you're not aware is that they're really, after spending time with you or crossing paths with you, they have this strong urgency to focus on their well-being, okay? Hello, babe. Want to show up in all the reads today, eh? All the piles. So this stone is one that's said to believe it can remove negative energies and help you connect to higher realms as well. So I feel like for a lot of you, you're highly spiritual here. Your third eye or your crown chakra is very active. You may utilize this energy or this power, this gift, whatever you want to call it, to make decisions on a day-to-day basis. I feel for a lot of you who have picked this pile, you more work with white magic than dark magic. You are probably big manifestors here. You're probably people who spend a lot of time cleaning house, so cleaning your mind, keeping your house clean. Happy house, like happy mind. I don't think that's a saying, but I'm going to say it. There is this very cleansing, calming vibe I'm picking up by connecting with your pile. And this is very different energy to pile 1, like totally different feel. I can already feel that. So I love that. What else? You know, it's such a like smooth, chilled, calming stone. So I feel like a lot of you are very chilled out right now. You know, life's good. Life's not like throwing any harsh lessons your way. There isn't anyone trying to ruin your day. If anything, people are trying to tap into your energy because they can see that maybe your way of life, pile 2, is the ultimate way of life. And we have an L, an F, with the number 4, we have a G and 2 R's. Where shall I do this, seeing as you were sitting there like this? So you'll have to bear with me. I will pause the video at times to cough because I'm getting over sinus infection. Well, all the infections, but all the infections. I shouldn't say that. Sounds gross. We have Leo. We have Taurus. We have Cancer. We have Cancer again, 4th house. Some of you could be in your 50s. Oh. We have Scorpio. And we have the Sun, Leo energy again. Is there any more there? Wouldn't know because you're laying in the way, aren't you? Okay. What are people realizing about pile 2 that they are not aware of? You make people feel really happy and you make people want to focus on their happiness. Like, you guys could be the kind of people who, King of Cups, love it. You could be the kind of people who always find the silver lining or try and find the silver lining in situations in order to remain in this cool, calm, collected energy here. So we have the Death card, we have the 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, King of Wands, and 7 of Wands. Beautiful energy. So just to call out a couple more sign placements, because I know you guys love your signs. So King of Cups is one, obviously water element, but Pisces and Aquarius energy. Obviously Scorpio energy coming heavy with the Death card. Your 10 of Pentacles is Virgo, Mercury in Virgo though. So also Gemini energy there a little bit, based off Mercury obviously. I think 7 of Cups is Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio, and it is obviously then Libra and Taurus. King of Wands, Sagittarius, Scorpio as well. Heavy Scorpio energy here, so very intriguing. You guys might have a really strong sexual energy surrounding you at this time as well. And then that 7 of Wands is Leo, but Mars in Leo. So Aries and Scorpio. So yeah, like I feel like you might be making what people are realizing about you that you're not aware of. You could actually be making people feel quite aroused or something, or wanting to feel quite aroused. I just feel like if the more people focus on self-love and self-worth and nurturing themselves and they naturally start beginning to build more confidence for themselves, looking in the mirror and that sort of stuff. So I wonder if that's where that energy is coming from. So let's connect with the King of Cups. So what are people realizing about you that you don't realize, that you're not aware of? If you're a man, I would say you might not be aware of how like amazing you are for a man. I feel like for the male audience, it's a specific message obviously for you guys. If you're a husband or a boyfriend or a father, I feel like what a lot of main message you need to hear today definitely is that what people are realizing about you that you're not aware of is just how like loyal and compassionate and calming you are for a man. Okay, in when they compare you to other men in your life or in their life, how different you are, how grounded you are, how emotionally balanced you are for a man. Okay, now for the rest of you, the overall energy I'm picking up with the King of Cups is what people are realizing about you, but that you may not be aware of. You may present yourself to be all like this cool, calm, collected, like maybe hippie kind of energy, very always thinking from your emotional intelligence as opposed to logical. And what I feel like what people are realizing about you is you're actually very wise, you're very diplomatic. And although you are a person who is all about emotional well-being and looking after thyself and the soul, you are actually a person who is a great advisor, and you can provide really sound advice. You're a really good counselor. So what you may not realize, and this is all coming back to that selenite energy, what you don't realize is that your energy plays a big part into that. So when people sort of maybe share information with you, how you react and respond, you don't react and respond from an emotional stance. I feel like you are reacting and responding from a logical one. It's like you're really well balanced with logic and emotional intelligence. So, you know, when you can tell people a story, what analogy I'm going to use? Like, you know how you get, here, I've got it. You know when you tell somebody something happening to you and they just don't get it? And you're like, how they react and respond just doesn't make any sense. I feel like they don't understand why you would be upset or why you would be happy. Okay, I think hopefully that makes sense. I feel like whenever anyone then has that experience, but then they go and tell you the same story, you react and respond in a way is what they were looking for, which even makes them feel like they're right to feel or think whatever's going on. I just feel like you make people, what people are realizing about you is you make them feel normal and heard and seen. And therefore, when they walk away from your interactions, pile 2, that is when they feel that sense of peace and like calm and like everything's going to be okay. Like it wasn't all in my head. Like I feel like you help people understand situations, maybe why people do what they do, and yeah, that sort of counseling energy. You might help people understand when they are being emotionally manipulated, right? You may help people understand why, like if somebody's behaving a certain way, you can help people understand that that person's withdrawing, that person's very moody, that person's very controlling. You know, have you thought that that person's controlling you? Like, you may even help a lot of people here deal with like, you know, horrible like tyrant bosses, you know, or colleagues as well here. You'd be really good people for pile number 1 is what I feel. Like people in pile number 1 need people like you. Pile 2 is sort of what I feel. There is very big opposite energy here. You know, you might even help people prevent them from making really bad financial choices as well. Like you might be a really good advocate for helping people not overspend and overconsume, buying things that they don't need. You know, your friends might really like going shopping with you because you might actually bring to their attention, like, do you need to buy this? So that's sort of the overall vibe I'm getting with the King of Cups. Like you definitely help people make better choices. You definitely make people feel better just about situations that are unfolding in their life and give them a lot of reassurance that what they're doing is either wrong or right and they need guidance. So you are definitely like an indigo child here. You're somebody who is definitely on a spiritual path, and we see that with the Death card. So what some people could be realizing about you that you're not realizing is you've had a recent spiritual transformation. You've changed. You've let go of something that was not serving you, and you've invited this new beginning, this new way of life. So some of you may not have always been a selenite individual, very calm, peace. Like you could have been very heavy in like heavy go fuck yourself energy here. But what people are realizing about you that you haven't, like that you're not aware of, is that there is some kind of change that has recently happened. There is a strong transformation that has happened for you. And then for others of you with this Death card, the vibe I'm getting is that what people realize about you that you don't realize is that you help people that are stuck in relationships get out of them, to release fear of new beginnings, to release fear of change. You know, you help people. What people realize about you is when their life becomes stagnant, talking to you, maybe listening to your stories, hearing about, you know, big tower moments in your life helps them make those changes, shift their fear into like, what's the right word? Like, shift their fear into like not doing anything but actually taking action. I don't really know how to put it down. Like, you must be some kind of guru here. And I don't say that to sound like a knob, but when these people are strongly resisting change in their like life, in their relationships, I don't know, you say something to these people and you probably don't even know you're saying it, that gives them the confidence to transform their life, to let go of things, to start anew, to begin new things. And we see that with the Ten of Pentacles here. I definitely feel like with the Ten of Pentacles, I feel like Ten of Pentacles can talk about family approval, right? And I kind of feel like what people are realizing about you that you're not aware of, that they want your approval. Like they see you as family. They see you as somebody who creates a lot of stability in their life. Through sound advice. I think a lot of people look up to you, pile two, to seek advice and your support because of where you've come from and what you've achieved here. Because Ten of Pentacles definitely tells me a lot of people, what they've realized about you is how stable you are, how wealthy you are in every area or aspect of your life. You're a very practical individual. You're also very traditional. And I feel like for a lot of you, what you're not aware of that these people have become aware of is that they want your approval, is the main message I am picking up for the Ten of Pentacles. You may even make people realize that you're not aware of is that if they're in insecure like relationships that are like having a lot of domestic disputes, or there's a lot of conflict between like their lovers and their family, like you may make people realize that maybe they're attracting those situations or they're in those situations because they're actually not ready for commitment here. I know that sounds a bit left field of Ten of Pentacles, but it's sort of like you know, when like people are like, why do I keep attracting, you know, this kind of experience? Is it because I am like, say, why I keep attracting narcissists? Well, I am a big believer you will keep attracting narcissists. We all have narcissistic tendencies, full stop, period. But a narcissist doesn't know they're a narcissist. They literally don't. They don't think, they have no idea what they're doing, which is why I believe it's a mental illness. But an example of what I'm trying to get at is just because you keep attracting, yeah, like narcissists, I'm not going to say what I was going to say because it would sound very inappropriate, unprofessional, but doesn't mean you're the narcissist. It means you're not. I personally think it's because you're not focusing on self-love. You're not focusing on thyself, which is what you do really, really well, pile 2. So I kind of feel like these people are learning that maybe they keep attracting very unstable individuals because they are not ready for commitment, because they have yet not learned to love thyself and to put thyself first and to nourish the body, the mind, the soul. So I feel like you educate a lot of people, which you're not aware of. What people realize about you is that they need to love themselves more. Like they watch how much you love yourself and how much you take care of yourself. And naturally what they then learn from observing that and being in your space, in your environment, is if I look after myself, I then attract all of this positive, like wealth, you know, I attract a lot of stability in my life. I then become quite privileged, is what I feel like people are realizing about you. Now, the 7 of Cups, I feel like what people are realizing about you is you're a person who has a lot of choices, a lot of options. You're a person who probably sits in a state of confusion and indecisiveness because you have more doors to open than a lot of people around these people. And I feel like you're educating people here. The more, again, I can't reiterate this enough, the more you look after yourself and do the things, do the kind things for yourself, the better your world becomes. And it's like, it's not selfish to be self-focused. To focus on self-love can come across as selfish, but I feel like you educate people that it's not. It can be done in a way where it's not selfish. But yeah, the 7 of Cups here definitely tells me what people are realizing about you is you're somebody who has a lot of options. You're a person who might be very confused as well when it comes to where your life is heading as well, because there is so much choice surrounding you. For others of you, I feel like this is such a quirky message, the 7 of Cups. I feel like some people, what they're realizing about you that you're not aware of is you're quite the daydreamer. Like you're a person who may sit in so strong Pisces energy, I'm feeling. But because you have so many choices, people might realize that you have a tendency to go off into daydreams because it might be a way that you escape. Like it could be a form of escapism here, in the sense that because you have too much choice, it puts you sort of on a path of a bit of daydreaming. So I don't know if like when you are talking to people, you might sort of zone out a little bit. So that's maybe when this energy sort of appears. For others of you, I kind of feel like with the 7 of Cups here, people, what they are realizing about you that you may not be aware of is that you are actually quite cautious when it comes to romantic decisions. You don't just like rush off to anyone. You take things very slowly here. And I'm also seeing the Knight of Pentacles in my third eye. Which is funny because that was in pile 1. So I'd be interested to know if any of you watched both pile 1 and pile 2 and resonated with it. But yeah, people definitely realize you may not be aware that you are as cautious as you are, but you may have been a person who's had a lot of confusion and chaos in love, and therefore it's sort of impacted, not impacted, but has had the effect of you being quite cautious in regards to taking action towards people. I feel like you have a lot of romantic interests around you, pile 2. You know, I think you even catch the eye here of a lot of people in relationships as well. and it's not to say you act on those energy exchanges there, but I think what a lot of people are realizing about you that you don't realize is you have a lot of options. There's a lot of people who want to start families with some of you, who want to build a future with some of you, settle down with you with the Ten of Pentacles, like, end things that don't serve them to then start some kind of family with you. People probably fall in love with you very easily, which you're probably not aware of here. They fall in love with your energy, they fall in love with your looks. You are probably more in your masculine energy here than your feminine energy based off these cards. But I definitely feel like people feel very safe in your energy. They feel safe with the things that you have to share with them. They can trust your advice. They can trust who you are. Like, I don't feel like anyone feels threatened in your space, is what I feel. The King of Wands tells me what people are realizing about you that you're not aware of is that you are you may be a person that, following on from this relationship energy, you may be a person who has very high expectations when it comes to romantic interests, okay? You may not realize that, but that could be something some people are realizing about you. Why they can't be in a relationship with you is because you could be just very focused on self at the moment, so you're not looking at relationships. So when people are presenting themselves to you, pile two, they may be walking away thinking, it could be more of an assumption than a realization about you, that your expectations are a lot higher than what they may have assumed. What you are looking for in a partner, in a husband, in a wife here, because the King of Wands is definitely like a married person. You are looking for somebody who is of high regard in your life, like high regard in your eyes, sorry. What else am I kind of getting with, the King of Wands is a very charismatic partner. So it could even be the fact you are looking for somebody with a unique kind of charisma. Like, you're looking for a very exciting individual. It could be more like the sense what people are realizing about you that you're not is that you are looking like this King of Wands is like more or less sort of explaining or suggesting to us what you are looking for in a partner. Somebody who's very protective, very bold in nature, somebody who's going to bring a lot of passion to the bedroom, somebody who's got a lot of daring decisions or big visions in life, like a visionary is very much linked with King of Wands. So, look, if any of you are married, okay, or already in a relationship, some people could be realizing that you could be in an abusive relationship. That's just sort of a bit left of field here. And then for others of you, I feel like what people are realizing about you that you're not aware is that you don't really have a lot of space in your life to have a lover enter it if you are completely single here. I feel like a lot of people are realizing that what you're not aware of, if you could be somebody who's actively trying to date and meet people, but what people are realizing is that you don't actually make space for love, given that's what you say you desire, like, because you are so busy doing other things, maybe helping other people here. And then to finish your reading off with the Seven of Wands here, it's sort of like giving me the vibe about boundaries, right? So people might actually realize about you that you've had to put in a lot of effort, to overcome challenges from, really toxic relationships. Like, you've had to put in a lot of effort to set really healthy boundaries, again, to create that very safe space for yourself, that very calming energy that you protrude or present. I definitely feel like people may see you as somebody, or what they're realizing about you is how much you've had to defend yourself over the course of your lifetime as well. So I feel like this all comes back down to that counseling piece. The advice you give people, I feel like what they realize about you is that you must have gone through some really hectic things in order to be able to provide the advice that you had to provided them. You may be a person that faces a lot of competition in life as well, and you may not realize it to be competition. You guys may not realize you've had a lot of challenges, or you've had to put in a lot of effort to set healthy boundaries. You know, but these people are realizing that maybe that like that something's happened to you for you to be so protective. Another thing that I feel with the Seven of Wands, what people are realizing about you is that in order to like grow, in order to overcome and have a transformation here, kind of coming back to that Death card a little bit, you do need to surrender. So you do need to admit defeat at certain times. So maybe you give people the confidence to accept that the loss is a loss. Like sometimes a loss is not a loss if it means like you're going to be able to protect yourself. I don't know. We're getting really strange energy coming through here, but I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to wrap it up. And that is all I have for you. Hello, baby. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So those of you who chose we're going to go with dyed turquoise. Yeah. So this stone, okay, like a fun fact and energy check in here. It's one that is known to have a very lengthy history, right? Dating back to ancient civilization, so to 5000 BC. And it was used by Native Americans in jewelry wearing up to 200 BC. It's also known as one of the oldest known materials. Some experts think turquoise is the first gemstone ever mined. So what I'm picking up based off this fun fact about the turquoise is that you're all old. No, I'm kidding. You're ancient. You have a lengthy history. So you're people who have, you know, when like people think about you, they think about a lot. Like there is a lot to think about when you cross people's minds. Or at least this is what people have realized about you that you may not be aware. You might be like, geez, I haven't really accomplished much in life, but people around you don't see that. Like you might be like, oh, there's heaps more in life that I can, you know, achieve and accomplish, but you've already achieved and accomplished a lot is sort of the vibe I'm picking up here. When I think about it's the first gemstone ever mined, I feel like a lot of you are the first of many in your friendship circles or in your families that have done something for the first time. So something that no one else in the family or the friendship circle's done. So I feel like a lot of you have probably been exposed to a lot of change, and that's because you welcome change with an open heart, open mind. You probably have had a lot of past lives also is what I'm picking up. Naturally, you'll know if that resonates because you will just know. Some of you could have Native American blood here. You could live in America. You know, it's a stone that is heavily associated with protection, luck, and abundance. So, you know, a lot of people around you, what they've realized about you is you are very lucky and you're very abundant. You're very protected as well here. I also kind of feel like you guys know how to maybe ward off like negative energies here. So what I mean by that, or the example that's coming to my mind, pile 3, is like, you know how to avoid people who aren't going to serve you well, is what I feel. Or at least what people realize about you that you're not aware of is that you're always maybe right about your opinions or your assumptions about people. And the thing why you may not realize this is because people don't tell you you were right. I feel like a lot of you could be surrounded by people who you say, don't do this because like that will happen. They'll say, no, it won't. Like, all those people aren't like that. And then it eventually happens, but they may never actually tell you it's happened. I still feel a lot of you, what people realize about you is you're a person who receives a lot of good fortune. You also bring a lot of good fortune to those around you. I think people feel very lucky in your energy, or lucky things begin to happen when they do good things for you. This stone is also one that's linked with a friendship. It's a symbol of friendship and unity. And it is also linked to one that makes a very popular gift among loved ones. So the vibe I'm picking up from that, I'm just picking up this crystal. Hopefully the cat doesn't go and roll it off the table again. What people realize about you that you're not aware of is that you make a really good friend. You make friendships very easily. And I also feel like people feel quite blessed to like know you, to get to know you, to have had spent time with you. You may have ended a lot of cycles with people here. And I kind of feel like when you remove yourself from people's lives, they realize, whether or not they realize it then and there or later on, they realize like you were like quite the gift, or they received a gift by having you in their life. We have a Q, we have an anchor, we have a D, we have an X, we have a G, we have a V, another G, and an O. So we have Virgo. I'll pop this here. We've got Cancer. We have Sagittarius. Some of you could be in your 40s. We have Cancerian energy. We have 17. Some of you could be 17. And this one is your South Node. So obviously your South Node is all about karma and who you were in your past life. So I feel like that just sort of correlates that that past life energy coming through. It's quite weird. Are you going to sit there like that? Don't look at the ball and roll it off, all right? So what are people realizing about pile 3 that they are not aware of? That's too much. Big dick energy. No, kidding. Ace of Swords, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. I said swords because we have the King of Swords. Excuse. The Lovers, the Sun, Judgment, and the Devil. Wow, some big energy here with the major arcana, guys. You know, the Magician is also being seen in my third eye here. So I feel like, yeah. Yeah, the Magician is being seen in my third eye. So I kind of feel like what people are realizing about you that you may not be aware of is that you're actually quite a powerful person. Your manifestations may be quite more powerful than you realize. And you know what's coming to my mind is like, if people have ever done you wrong, and you might say things like, oh, well, I hope you like, I don't know, what's not too malicious here. You know, I hope you don't like, you know, break a leg. Let's just go with that because it sounds absurd. I kind of feel like they might go and break a leg, especially if they've done you wrong. Okay, so that's the kind of vibe I'm picking up. You say things and it happens. Again, I just don't think people tell you this. I feel like there is a bit of secrecy and like you say things and it actually unfolds, and then people experience it, but they don't tell you it. So before we jump into these cards, let's just quickly call out a few more sign placements. Because I know you guys like that. So yeah, aces are never really correlated with like a specific sign, but on the basis of air element here, not air element, fire element, we have Aries, Leo, and Sag for the Ace of Wands. Your King of Swords, they're linked with Gemini and Taurus. Obviously, Lovers is Gemini energy, but Mercury, so you could also consider Virgo. We have the lovely Leo in the Sun card. Judgment, we have Scorpio energy. And then obviously the Devil, we have strong Capricorn energy, Saturn in Capricorn. So I kind of pick up, based off with the Devil card here a little bit, you know, you could have a lot of karmic power in this plane, sort of what I'm picking up. Look, I feel like the overall energy, I don't think what people are really realizing about your pile 3 is that because you're a very powerful manifester and you're a person who's very much in their power and very in control of their power and their destiny as well. Like I feel like a lot of you have got everything in check at this point in time. I feel very in control and like I feel in control, and I also feel very like confident in my directions in life. Like, and that's where I feel like a lot of you are. I feel like this exudes this real strong sexual energy around you. So what people are realizing about you that you're not aware of is that they are very sexually drawn to you. They're very aroused by you. They're very aroused by something creative you do. You know, the Ace of Wands is a card that talks about a real like strong, passionate energy when it comes to something inspirational or very creative. So there's some kind of creative outlet some of you could be doing that sparks a lot of enthusiasm within you, which gives you a lot of confidence. And this is something that could have recently been a new passion that you've putting a lot of energy in. And I feel like the effect that this is having on people is making them feel very aroused by you. I feel like what people are realizing about you that you're not aware is that they want to flirt with you. They find you very attractive. They want to, like, they sit around romanticizing what it would be like to sleep with you, to be in a relationship with you, to have intelligent conversations here with you. There is something very worldly about you. There's something very euphoric about you. You are very esoteric here. You know, there's something about your eyes as well that, you know, people seem to be falling in love with you very easily, but they're falling in love with your energy here that you're not aware of, pile 3. They're also falling in love with your mind, your intellect. You're very sharp with your words. You are very like direct and blunt, and this really turns people on that you are not aware of. You may even be attracting same-sex genders as well, like people who aren't into the same gender. You may actually be finding, you may be attracting people having crushes on you that are the same gender that would not normally crush on people who are the same gender. Hopefully that is making sense. But yeah, I feel strongly in the sense that what people are realizing about you that you are not aware of is how attractive you are. How much they want to, like, I don't know, be in your energy in a very like erotic way. There is a lot of people around you that want to have short-term flings with you, like an affair with you. And it could be the fact that a lot of these people are experiencing a lot of like lack of progress in their own love life, in their own sex life. Maybe they're experiencing a lot of blockages here, and they see how like enthusiastic you are about life, how confident you are, how inspiring you are doing whatever it is you're doing here. So I feel like your energy is quite contagious in the sense that whatever you're doing is like creating a very strong sexual energy field around you, which is having the domino effect of people wanting to, you know, explore a sexual experience with you. I think with the King of Swords though, my main thing here is something to do with your mind. So what people are realizing about you that you're not aware of is how highly intelligent you actually are. And you may not see yourself as somebody who's highly intelligent, pile 3, but people, you may not look like, you know how some people say, oh, like, you know, Susie looks like, you know, she's the epitome of like, I don't, hopefully like this doesn't come out the wrong way, but you know how like the notion of like dumb blondes, people with blonde hair, like if you think about Legally Blonde is a really good analogy. Like Reese Witherspoon in that movie, she doesn't come across as super smart because of what she looks like, and there's that generalization, but she's highly intelligent in her own unique way. I feel like you guys have this similar sort of like way of life. Maybe people assume that you aren't as intelligent as you are, so what they're realizing, and maybe you guys don't believe you're as intelligent as you are, but what people are realizing about you is how intelligent you are, like what a clear thinker you are. You always have a reason for the why you think the way you think. There is this energy also around you about discipline. You know, people realize how disciplined you actually are. You might come across as very free-spirited, but when people actually learn about you or listen to you, they actually realize how disciplined you are to your creative outlet, to your work, to your projects here. There is a lot of integrity energy here as well around you. So although you may have this strong sexual force, you know, around you, you don't just sleep with anyone. People, what they realize, and you might see yourself as somebody who does have a high body count and that you do sleep with everyone, but people are realizing around you at the moment is that they may have made like what do you call it, they may have made some kind of hint or given like some, what's that word when somebody tries to hit on you but they're not doing it directly, can't remember it, but making a pass at you. And what they're realizing about you is that you don't just hook up with anyone. You have like, you've got a lot of integrity. You may even have a checklist here in regards to who you sleep with. I definitely feel like what people are realizing about you that you're not aware of is that you are quite logical and that you do have high standards, whether that be in how you interact with your work or with the people that you hang out with or sleep with here. And you maintain these high standards. Like you're very ambitious as well, and you're probably more ambitious than the people around these people for them to be realizing that about you. So I don't know if your pile 3 is more about assumptions, because I feel like for some of you, you're going to be sitting there going, I already know this about me. Like, this is what I know. Now, in regards to the lovers, this is sort of been tapped on already, but I kind of feel like with the lovers, what people are realizing about you is maybe some of them could actually, like, you know, turn gay for somebody like you. There's something very alluring about your energy. And I actually feel like a lot of people are realizing about you that you could provide a very perfect union, a perfect partnership. You could also, people could also be realizing about you, pile threes, that you do have a lot of kindred spirits around you, a lot of soulmates, right? You may not be aware of this. People talk, you know, when people are standing in a circle talking about you, I think this is when they realize how many people are actually sexually attracted to you, because they can pick up on how people talk about you. I don't think people put you down, pile three. I think a lot of people around you speak quite highly of you, especially when it comes to your intelligence here. You're a very smart businesswoman, businessman, business they or them. Yeah, I definitely feel like people may be realizing like you have a lot of shared values. They have a lot of shared values with you. You may not be aware of this because, you know, you could be in an environment where a lot of people are too shy to talk about, you know, sex and love and that sort of stuff. Maybe you are more open. Maybe you're a person that speaks quite freely of your relationships here. So yeah, that's sort of what I'm picking up with the Lovers. Now the Sun card, you know, bless, this is like the happiest card on the planet. So what are people realizing about you that you wouldn't be realizing? You know, it's a card that's heavily emphasized on positivity and freedom and joy, you know, optimism. So maybe what people are realizing about you is that you don't, like, that you're not aware of, is that maybe your confidence stems from your positive outlook on life, the freedom that you ensure that you have in this life. So maybe you are a highly confident person, because when I think about Leos, they're not afraid to do public speaking. They're not afraid to speak their mind. So you guys could be quite extroverted, very in front of cameras. Maybe you're very free speech kind of speaking people. Like, you speak your mind. You're very true to yourself. So people with the Sun card here, what they're realizing about you that you're not aware of is more so where the confidence comes from. Where does, like, how do you get that? You know how, like, there's a lot of people that are not confident, like there's no confidence, like the idea of standing up in front of a group and talking, they could not do that even if they were paid to do that. Yeah, I just kind of feel like with this Sun card, it's like, again, I feel like you already know this. And I think for this pile, you know who you are and you know what you represent. So you know what you stand for. And naturally, you're always going to know what people are realizing about you, because your colors, your self never changes. So maybe that is what they're realizing about you. Maybe you don't realize that you are very confident, you are very optimistic, you're also a very positive person. You know, you create a lot of freedom in your life, which brings you a lot of joy, and you may not be aware of that. You may think like you're doing it really tough and life's really sucky right now, but you have a lot of great success. And again, you may not see that because maybe something is happening at this point in your life that you are a bit blocked there. And maybe that is why this message is coming through, just to sort of refresh your memory that things are actually better than what they may be right now. Like, tomorrow is a new day for some of you. So then we have the Judgment. So you know, what people may realize about you is that, kind of flowing on from that Sun, is that maybe because the Judgment can talk about self-doubt and self-loathing. So maybe what people are realizing about you that you're not realizing. I don't know if it's to do with self-doubt. I'm not really sure if that's the right message here. Maybe it's what they've realized about you is that self-doubt and self-loathing does lead to like self-evaluation and some form of awakening here, because the Judgment card calls for an awakening, a rude awakening as well sometimes. So I kind of feel like what people realize about you that you don't realize is that sitting in a state of self-loathing or self-doubt like doesn't bring change, doesn't bring renewal. So you may make people realize that they need to self-evaluate. They need to have a reality check on their behavior. So you may have been people who've endured some really tragic things. So when people hear about these experiences and then review their own experiences, they kind of have a reality check not to sit in a state of self-doubt, self-loathing, because pile 3 has like gone through far worse than I, and yet they are the sun, you know, they're very positive, they very focus on creative outlets, you know. So I feel like the Judgment card is like a reality check. What people realize about you that you're not aware of is that you make them have reality checks, like they check themselves, you know, they're like, fuck, I shouldn't behave like this, because, you know, there's people out there who have overcome far bigger challenges. Not that we should ever compare, you know, but that's the sort of vibe I'm picking up with the Judgment. It's sort of like a little bit like Justice in a way, life lesson, like wake up, you know. Life is about lessons, like unfair lessons too. But it's unfair to keep blaming everyone else around you. You can't just sit in a state of wallow. You need to get back on the horse and keep it moving is sort of the vibe I'm picking up here. So you might you might shake people a little bit in regards to getting out of a rut. So then we will finish your reading with the Devil. So then we've kind of like, what do people realize about you that you're not aware of? Maybe what they realize about you is that you can overcome addiction here. Like maybe some of you have had addictions in the past. Maybe some of you have had obsessive tendencies in the past. And what you make people realize is that you don't have to be an addict your whole life. For some of you don't have to be obsessed and dependent on something, whether it's shopping, food, you know, substance. You can break away and detach from things that don't serve you through, like, you obviously that takes a lot of perseverance, but yeah, you can free yourself from things that don't serve you is what I mainly feel. What the Devil card, what people realize about you that you don't realize is that you educate people that they can gain control, they can break free from negative patterns, because you've done that. But you may not see yourself, pile 3, as somebody who has broken away from negative patterns, because you may still be dabbling in things that make you think that you're still doing the wrong thing. That could be the reason why you don't see it. You know, you could be viewed like, what these people realize about you is you are more independent than what you may proclaim yourself or present yourself to be. And I definitely feel like what these people are realizing about you is maybe for some of you don't realize you are an addict or you have obsessive tendencies. So maybe some people around you, just a side note here, are realizing that you do have addiction to something, but you may not think that you're addicted to something, is sort of what I'm going to say there and leave it there. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that. Sending much love and light. Bye.